everybody, welcome back. I'm Kim Bradley, Master Gardener, Nashville, Tennessee, Zone 6B. What I'm about to share about, though, can be done, it's universal in regard to dealing with Hosta. One of my absolute favorites. I grew up in Michigan with Hosta. I have pieces of my grandmother's Hosta. That's how well Hosta does. There are a few hundred type of Hosta, and this little bed basically is a spot between two trees connected with a Hosta bed. Okay, first we're going to talk about the mulch. When mulch is thick, and at the beginning of each season, you need to loosen the mulch. So instead of the stirrup hoe, we're going to use a pronged hoe. And the first thing we're going to do, and you see the root system right there, so be delicate, be careful. We're going to move it out of the way. And what we're going to do with this hosta is we're going to divide it. Hosta, of course, is a shade-loving, moisture-loving plant material. This shade of green is actually considered to be a shade of blue. This hosta gets very big, and at maturity may easily span a canopy of 2 to 3 feet. So it's pretty exciting. The cool thing about hosta is that you can take one hosta and turn it into 4 very easily. So if your budget is tight and you have shade gardening, hosta, again, you can spend $10 on a plant and turn it into 4 or 5. So that's what I like about it, and it helps me save my clients money. Okay, so we got it up, and you see it's a big boy. It's going to take a moment. Oh, look at this, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, wow. In dividing the hosta, we're going to look inside. Within each group, you will see several individuals. So say we look at the inside of this one, we could quarter it if we want, or we can take these pieces off here and separate them. Okay, I tried to divide this with a trowel and it wouldn't work. It's pretty sturdy. So I'm just going to use a straight razor. You know, you can use a pruning saw, whatever you can cut with will work just fine. You want to get through the base of it. And you can hear it. You can hear it snap when it comes. Even though they're tough plants, you do want to be relatively gentle with them. I need my saw. All right, so that's not working. We're going to try something else. Here we go, you guys. This will work, I promise. All right, here we go. Don't worry about that. That's no big deal. The hosta is just beginning. I mean, this growth is early, late winter growth. So if you lose some stems, that's no big deal, because what you are after is root system. And you can see it cuts nice and clean. It's actually pretty interesting to look at. So we're going to take this one. We're going to turn it into 3. Save as much of your soil on it as you can. You don't want to knock it off. Since it's a shade plant, it will transplant very easily because it doesn't have the sun to contend with. So we're going to find a spot for these. So here we go. Now we're going to put the hosta back in the ground, our divisions. I am a big fan of Osmocote. I basically don't dig a hole without it. This is Osmocote. It's called Osmocote because it is coated and it will not burn your root systems. This is one of the only fertilizers that I can truly say will not burn your root system. This one feeds for 4 months. Some of them feed for 3 months. You can get them for house plants. It doesn't matter. Again, this is not a problem. So we're going to take it and tuck all of the root system in. We're going to do it tightly. You can see, and this is a basic rule of thumb with planting, you can see that when you plant something, you want to go to where the soil line was originally or very slightly below it. We're going to take it all the way up to here, and you can tell by the coloring where it goes. We already have the Osmocote in. To make this completely work for us, watering is imperative. If it's going to rain, doesn't matter. That rain would need to reach this far down. So rain is not a way to water. We're going to find some other spots in between. We're going to tuck our other ones in. We're also going to show how to separate 2. Not divide 1, but separate 2. Again, no big deal. All right, so here we've got two growing together. This is actually one of my absolute favorite hosta. This is the one my mother grew. Going to get the mulch out of the way. If you do have thick mulch, know that the mulch robs it of nitrogen. So get that mulch out of your way and make sure that you are completely in your topsoil. When you dig any plant and transplant, shake the shovel. It gets a little bit of the soil off, but it helps to break whatever roots. You never know when you're digging if there's irrigation running through, if there are rocks or a gas line. Even when you're digging in something simple like this, if you ever hit resistance with a hoe or especially with a shovel, stop and check out what you're doing. So you see we have these two together. I'm going to take this little guy. Look, it came up just beautifully. Make sure that we cover back up the root system of the one we separated it from. The only other thing I can think about, except for to let you know, of course, that they are shade loving, that they love a consistent moisture, not saturated, but a consistent moisture. My experience with them is my biggest enemy is the bunny. Bunnies they're cute from a distance. When they get in your house to garden, totally different story. Second, definitely not second to, would be the slug. So, in regard to the slug, I don't have an example of a slug having eaten a leaf yet because we're still early. They're coming though, they're right around the corner. But if you do it naturally, you can crush up eggshells. It doesn't matter whether you boiled that egg or fried the egg, save your eggshells. And crush them up, sprinkle them around the base of your plant. Diatomaceous earth is a product, it's an organic product. It is actually bone that sprinkled around the base of hosta will also cut the slug as it's coming to your plant. Remember that they are nocturnal, so usually won't see them in the day, but boy, if you go out with a flashlight at night, you can't miss them. As far as the diatomaceous earth goes, know that even if something is organic, that doesn't mean that it's not toxic. Whatever you do, make sure that you cover your nose and your mouth when you are using diatomaceous earth. So we're going to show what a bunny did to one of my hosta and how I remedy that. All right, so here's a hosta. This is a great hosta too. Let's see which one it is. This is June plantain lily. Love it, love it. You get the weeds from around it always. This is evidence of bunnies. You see where it's literally been chewed. There is a website called Jerry Baxter, BAXTER.com. He is a master gardener. He's the leading man in homemade tonics. So I highly recommend you go to his website. If you search how to deter bunnies, that he'll have plenty of information of something that you can concoct at the house. It's pretty cool. My clients like this. It's called Deer Off. It is for deer and rabbit. Not as cheap as it would be if you made something like this at the house, but it works very well. I personally like to give it 2 or 3 hours to dry if I have rain coming, and basically you shake and you spray. You're not going to hurt the hosta. It works great as a barrier. So if you don't want to go around each individual hosta, by the way, this is a type of urine and it smells awful. Shake it up really well though. You can just do a barrier of it, you guys, just a fence. There's several different products. This is the one that works for me. What happens with rabbit and with deer is that you need to break their routine. So if you are consistent in the application of the product, that includes whether you make the product or if you buy a product, if you hit it about once a week, 4 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row, you will change the pattern of the bunny, and the bunny will send it to the neighbor's house. Again, my name is Kim Bradley. Thanks once again for coming back to visit us. We will see you next time.